Hello and welcome. It's Tuesday. It's Summer Tuesday, which means every other Tuesday. And here we are again, Marianne and me. And today's subject is Faces of Love. What the heck do I mean with that? Uh, so many people have different ideas of what love is. So there is so many different definitions underlying if somebody talks about love. And then we also have our qualifiers. Uh, it always baffled me, for instance, because I consider love is supposed to be unconditional. So why are we talking about unconditional love? It means implicitly that love can be very conditional. We're talking about pure love. We're talking about this, that, and the other, and even romantic love. People have different definitions of what it means, what they expect from their lover, and even that changes over time. When we're newly in love, then everything is hunky dory, and then it becomes maybe conditional. I'm not sure. And one thing that struck me as really funny yesterday, uh, I have to do quite a bit of reading because I don't want to spray. And so I realized, okay, that's a labor of love that I absolutely don't love. So it's a real interesting conundrum. And what if we go, instead of talking about love, also include the emotions that we're feeling when we're talking about love? And recently, I have been playing with what is love and feeling it in my body, feeling the different emotions. And I could identify a sense of gratitude, but I could also identify a sensation of being vulnerable, of being respectful, of having, um, yeah, I said gratitude. There were several, and I'm blanking now. Darn it. So maybe that's the sign that I need to pass it on to Marianne and let her talk so I can gather my thoughts and wait until everything comes back, and then I can continue. So, Marianne, why don't you?
Thank you, Karina. And perhaps it was me within my energy, something that was really pulling it backwards as I was listening to you. And as a sudden, you took me back into my first love sensations, but then that
Mm,
as so romantic love.
yeah.
And immediately I was chuckling within as, oh yeah, but in that time it's like that, and the first love you sense for a partner, and those feelings in your stomach and in your belly when you will
Yeah.
meet. And at that time there was no phones and the internet and whatever. It was really waiting up till the moment you could see the person. And
Mhm.
most likely it started when we go to school and then on the bus or the train or whatever. It doesn't matter. But what struck me in myself is that conditional and unconditional love, as I hear so clear that it was something straight from the beginning that sounded real for me, hearing about unconditional love, which includes if there is an unconditional, then there will be a conditional. So,
Yeah.
but I couldn't get it. And at the same time, I became aware of, but wow, I never saw it that way, but I could perceive now that from the start, that was already conditioned due to what I saw in my environment, what I heard about it. Nevertheless, it was not really on television because I wasn't allowed to see that much when it was about love, and there was not that much on TV. But we learned in school whatever that was about love. We learned in school, but it's also that observation we have, the compartment between our parents, aunts, uncles, the neighbors. So we pick up so much conditions about love that even when the first time we are really in love and that passion we feel, that we aren't aware that we, from the beginning, already start with conditions, even it doesn't fit with what we know about it. That was something what struck me now is, so we difficult ourselves during our lifetime, all the conditions that we bring in and bring in again and out when we change partners. Because it's a play, Karina. And for me, I don't know how it was for you, but I can remember that every time when I felt love, it was the love of my life. I would stay together forever. And then, it crumbles down. But there was always that fullness of loving from nature, which then was conditioned by, whatever definitions there are. So, I require to bring that in as an awareness, as something that I can acknowledge now, that how easily we create the distance between what we truly know and could choose to live and what we actually live due to the environment and definitions and whatever. And that's not only about love, because isn't that interesting also that there are so many kind of types of love. As you mentioned, we have the love for our parents, for our children, for friends, for the love of the heart as our partners, and the romantic love, etc. The love for the land, the love for a culture, the love for a dance, the love. There are so many loves.
And I now remembered what I was looking for. One emotion that was part of that mix that came when I explored what is love on an emotional level was trust. And I realized, looking at it, how many people are able to truly trust their lover. Let's just call it for ease to not identify it's male, female, parents, kids, or whatsoever. How many people can trust them?
And could it be, Karina, sorry that I bring something extra in it, but could it be that not trusting, as I see it now for me, comes from all those conditions that brings in a confusion that it is no longer trustable because it is far away of what you truly know?
And how much is trust a definition that varies from person to person to person?
Oh, yes, also. Yes,
so,
of course.
There are all those, and it's subtle, and we don't think about it when we talk, when we use the word. But as I said, with the definition that each person has for love, what does love mean?
Yeah.
What does trust mean? And it could be something totally different for me than for somebody else. You know, somebody says, oh, I can trust that person because I know they're not going to kill me. And I can trust that person because I know they're not going to snoop in my diary, and they are not going to use abusive words or things like that. I mean, there are all shades of gray. And how can we clarify and become aware of what we mean when we use a word, what it means to us? And I think the very first step is to really feel into our own bodies and see what is the energy that that word has. And how can I describe that energy?
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. And that brings me back to what you say also, the emotions. What are the emotions? What is the, and you sense by using several words, or even are we really present with, when I look at you, for example, just looking at someone or something, you aren't really present in general of sense in our body.
Yeah.
It is only when there is something really knocking on the door, as what we can call then as, oh, the alarm, I can't trust this. But then it is an extreme, quote unquote, extreme emotion. So you can notice the alarm. And in truth, when I look at you and I tap into the emotion, what is moving, not emotion as I have to call it like happiness or sadness or whatever, but what is the emotion, what energy moves through me, then I notice that it is a relaxation, a freedom, a space, an energy that flows with ease. And is that an energy of unconditional, pure, whatever we can call love? Even I wouldn't name it, oh, I love Karina. Is that the same as I say, I love you, Karina? Is that truly the same as what I sense?
Yeah, I get what you're talking about. And that is in a way, something that I have come across lately, not lately, but the practice of interbeing, to really acknowledge that we are connected, that we are not, like you and I are not separate. Yes, we are physically separate in the sense that I'm living here in the US, you live in Portugal. We are two different bodies, but we are connected on another level. And that is what you're talking about, that you perceive the energy that is moving through the other person. And that is part of, the willingness to perceive that is part of interbeing. And it's more than just between people. It's, with plants and animals, and with some animals, we do it like our pets. We love our pets, And the rest of the animals, we maybe talk about love, but do we love them?
Exactly, Karina. As we are so conditioned in using words of love.
Yeah.
But how conditioned are even those words we are conditioned with?
Yeah.
That we are so separated of the movement of the energy. What is the energy of love? And it's not about that there is one energy we can finally name as love, because it will be different for you than for me.
It's a mix.
It is, because everything is included, as we had a conversation yesterday where we brought it up. And I said to you also, yeah, for me, I can feel also the love within the moment as I am furious about something, for example, when I'm really talking to my partner with a more, it's not with force, it's a more potent stream of energy as it comes out, but with love. The love is there. And it's not in the name of love, because in the name of love, we do so many things and we use also so many times love as the conditioning. But when I say, for me, love also can be that movement of something more firm, or with
Yeah, you can say, because I truly love you, I'm giving you a kick in the butt. Or I truly care about you, I'm giving you the kick in the butt.
that's more the word for me that matches that caring, and within that caring is also the interbeing, because I see you.
I see, yeah.
I see you, and this is my invitation coming from caring for you. The care I have, I be for you, is I knock on your door, and perhaps there is a possibility that you will and can open that door for yourself.
Yeah.
And that is often what I experienced also, is in the name of love. And how many abuse is there in the name of love?
A
In the name of
tremendous
love for
amount of,
God, in the name of love for whatever, but in the name of love used as as an instrument to get somewhere into the place, time, space, whatever you want, where you want to see them.
yeah, it's love can also be a cover up for abuse, can be a cover up for manipulation, which, you know, to some extent also can be abusive then.
Yeah.
And it really, I would almost say it becomes crazy making. Because what the heck does love mean?
It is. It is. And as you were sitting also with a question last week and a few days, and then that comes up, and that comes up, and that comes up, and that comes up, we can experience so many things about love that, for me, in a way, could it be that becoming the love we truly are, as the infinite love, the unconditional love, you can call it also, that is just part of our existence, that we are experiencing so many layers
Yeah.
of life, so many layers frequencies, vibrations, so many things that by every experience, there is a possibility to become more clear what it is and how it is.
Yeah.
Love. As for me also, Karina, and that is something we touched several times, is with the conditions comes also judgment.
Yeah.
And as I go back to what I said, even when I'm in that fury, coming from love, coming from caring, or it is not from judgment.
Yeah.
It is because true care includes also gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
When there is gratitude, it is damn difficult to have a judgment. They don't go together.
Yes.
You see, so
They're
what if
mutually
that is the
exclusive.
experience? Being with every judgment we have, every definition we have, not to judge ourselves, not to make us wrong, but to explore, to receive. Oh, there I was conditioned. There I conditioned the other. Yeah.
And it's really how much are we willing to love ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and get out of judgment?
Yes.
Because judgment also doesn't have anything to do with love. And even if I'm looking and I'm checking right now in emotionally, even if love is conditional, that does not necessarily include judgment. It can be that I have certain ideas of what love is, and I'm trying to enforce and project that onto the other. But that does not have to come from judgment. It comes from my definitions.
And that's beautiful, Karina. What you say is, as I look back into my life, those ways of going with love changed due to the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, there were moments that I have said to boyfriends, you don't know what true love is, because it was different from my
Yeah.
point of view. And then there is a lot of judgment within, because then I'm saying what I see as love is the right thing, and what you see as love
Yours is the wrong
is
thing.
is the wrong thing, because you don't
Yes.
know anything about it. So love comes with all the aspects together, as yes, it will be different for you, and it will be different for me, and for everyone, for every listener, for the not listeners, for everyone, it is different.
Mm-hmm.
And when we can be with all those different ideas, different experience, isn't that the abundance there is, that is coming with love, within love, that is love?
And, and how much, something just struck me. How much are we preferring the word love in regards to instead of caring? Is caring from the definition that we have been entrained to, not expressing the same depth, breadth as love does. And
Yeah,
yet, truly caring, that is love.
It is. And as I can remember, Karina, but it can be more than a year ago. Yeah, it is definitely more than a year ago. We spoke to those emotions separately in our conversations. We took the gratitude, and then we took also the trust, and we spoke to them. And every time it is in a way the same thing as this true energy of caring, of gratitude, of because with gratitude is saying thank you through gratitude.
Yeah.
I take care
Good
of you
question.
because I do everything for you, so I take care of you. But is that true caring? So it is in every emotion nearly, it comes back to all the conditions we have learned about it, the definitions, the judgments. So there is a lot to unravel still. And
There,
is that all included in love?
I just wanted to ask the very same question. It's when I say talk about truly caring, may as well talk about truly loving, truly trusting. You know, what is the difference in gratitude? I mean, respect, you know, truly respecting somebody, honoring them for who they are, that is a form of love.
Yeah, yeah, love is such a broadband energy that you can tune low and then you can pump it up, and then it can be really
Yeah.
tense, and then it is slow, and oh wow, it is. And you know, Karina, that's something that pops now for me is, what if we all let go to look after the definition of and go with experiencing every moment. As we said also yesterday, yeah, we both love that. We dive into something that appears, if it is an emotion, if it is a thought, if it is, it can be whatever it is. We love both to do that on our own way, individual
Yeah.
way, with is unique for you, with is unique for me. And then it's like every millimeter, every molecule within that thing that we are experiencing, we go through it. So we become it.
Yeah.
And then, oh, the next experience, the
Next.
next experience, as we, it is in a kind never satisfied. But is that true? As it's not about being satisfied, it is for me really like living fully, exploring life with what there is now, and I don't have to define it what it is.
And what I would like to add is this: by you have your ways of going about it, I have my ways of going about it. And by sharing, how much are we opening it up and making it broader, because it allows the other experience to come in, to flow in, to enrich the whole thing. And it just, listening to you, I was out this morning reading, and somebody was walking and said, "Were you home to yesterday?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" "Oh, did you hear about the ambulance? And it's a good friend of mine. They had to airlift them to Denver." And what came out of my mouth is, yeah, that's why we should enjoy every single day. You don't know when, where, and how. And that's that what for each one of us is that diving into is part of that enjoying every single day.
Yeah. And what pops here in listening by you now is like, it is, I understand more and more every day due to experience lately also that it is fully living, but that gives me also the possibility to fully die in a way, as I experienced in a way that conjunction, as when I step into something greater, higher vibrational and higher frequency of me with my body, then it feels like I die something out, yeah, dying out of something. I can't name it really, but it is like experience that fully living and that fully dying, that conjunction that is an ongoing
Mm-hmm.
something. And that brings, for me, Karina, it gives me more space within myself. And I notice that even there, I go deeper into the experience of letting go of the fear of what we know as dying, leaving body.
And what listening to you, what just popped for me, is how much is the fear of death contracting me and not allowing me to live fully?
Absolutely. I can say for me it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. And what I heard myself saying to myself now was also, and is choosing to live so fully, as I invite myself also there to experience fully that without leaving my body. But that conjunction is that also an act of love,
Mm-hmm.
as I love myself so much that I want to explore what is the me, what is the I am.
And loving life, fully exploring what does it mean to be living. And what I also became right now aware is so many people associate living fully by being what's called an adrenaline junkie. And not that that is in any which way wrong, but it's not the only way.
Yeah. So with you there. And also that is in individual,
Yeah.
because when one wants to experience so on and on and on, that, how would I say that, that shot nearly like I require that point of noticing the adrenaline going, swirling through my body, and then
Yeah.
I'm alive. What if, in a way, Karina, even what I choose, what you perhaps choose as fully living life, is also based on that adrenaline, only expressed in a different way? There was something that popped for me now, as I notice when I tap in for me, in the energy of adrenaline, is like some energy that moves you forward or into the depth or wherever you want to go.
But the reason I was hesitant is energy moving through my body equal to adrenaline? Adrenaline has a certain effect on the body, but adrenaline in my book is not equal to just energy moving through, even
Exactly.
intense energy moving through.
Exactly. And that's why I say that for me, it was like, yeah, but in a way, that adrenaline is what we moves also into the way I choose to fully live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As I don't like that rush of adrenaline through my body by I'm not gonna look I'm not gonna how skydiving or whatever that's not for me, that's not the way I want to experience it. But in the same way there is a kind of that energy of adrenaline, of the fully living, the joy. For me, joy has also that energy of adrenaline, and it doesn't mean that it is rushing through me. It's
I
the
mean,
sense.
I have bungee jumped and I have skydived
Oh, wow.
30 years ago.
So
And
tell me.
I know the physical sensation of it. And for me, that is adrenaline based. It's not based on joy of living. Those are two totally different things.
Yeah, yeah. And there I follow you because it's for me the same, but somehow, yeah, we go differently with adrenaline as, and it's new for me because it came up now during our conversation. So I will explore it for sure more. What is adrenaline for me? What is adrenaline? As
Mm-hmm.
we know it, like the physical aspect of the adrenaline as you speak to, but is that the only true adrenaline there is? What is it? Because there was something, yeah, triggering me now within the energy of the adrenaline. So let's
Yeah.
explore it. Beautiful.
And that is where, or not where, but why I thoroughly enjoy that deep dive in being with the different energies. And I know I did it, and it was important for me to do at that point in time. It really served a purpose, and I wouldn't have been able to go through and deal with what came 2 years later in the same way as I was able because of that experience. And
Yeah,
I'm also very clear this is not something I need to repeat.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Once
So,
was enough.
so that is something interesting also that you bring in. How much is done also in the name of love because of what's serving in the moment at that time life.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is definitely something we can go on and on and on, Karina. And
No, not at all.
and we will not reach. So sorry for those who are waiting for the definition of
Or
love
for the answer,
or for
or
an
for what is
answer.
right and what is
Can't give
wrong.
it.
Yeah, not going there.
Not going. The invitation is share. Share with us what is
Yeah,
love for you. And
share.
perhaps we can have another conversation out of
Yeah,
what is coming in. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
That's always a possibility. Just because we touched on something doesn't mean we never will ever talk about it again. No, we
oh
won't do
no,
that.
no, 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 that's not for us.
No.
That's not a match. Only once, Karina. That's not a match. For some things, perhaps it is, as your skydiving, the ones, but in general, the only ones is not so for us.
It's not for us. There's always a new round. Hey,
Another round
let's
of
be
exploring.
honest, we're not the same person the next time.
Oh wow, no. No, no, no,
And
no, no.
so it's a totally different exploration,
This.
coming from a different space, coming from a different energy that we are.
And that acknowledging, every time we acknowledge change, we acknowledge motion, we acknowledge whatever there is.
Mm-hmm.
What if that is the energy also that amplifies and opens even more ports, doors, and possibilities, and whatever?
Yeah.
Because is that something we tend to forget, acknowledging the energy of acknowledging? So I
Thank
acknowledge
you
you,
for being with
Karina.
us. Thank you for being here, Marianne.
Thank you.
And until next time, probably in 2 weeks.
Probably. Bye bye.